Okay, we're live. All right, welcome to the aois21 4th birthday webcast. Last year we had a full party. This year we had a small party at Walls Books. Hey, how's it going? And we had a small party on Friday night, but we wanted to save the announcements for our actual birthday, which is today, May 8th. 4 years ago today, our paperwork was officially filed with the Commonwealth of Virginia, incorporating aois21 Publishing, LLC. Today we are aois21 Media, having changed our name last year to show our growth beyond the book. So let's see what we did over the past year. Over the past year, we did the full changeover from being aois21 Publishing to aois21 Media. We changed our governing structure. Instead of being a top-down with just me at top with various people underneath me doing various tasks, we built ourselves on a 3-pillar approach, where it was aois21 Media, me at the top, and then the various subject medium areas. So we had aois21 Publishing under Chief of Publishing Corey Parker, aois21 Audio under Chief of Audio Production, and Zach Cohen, and then we have aois21 Video. We're currently still looking for a Chief of Video Production, though John Mulcahy, our Chief of Visual Design, is doing some of the video work for us right now. So we reformatted, we realigned how some of our operations were done, and then we were able to move forward and grow in the targeted areas. Whereas publishing had been our focus for the years before, we now put a lot more focus on audio and started to really build up video into its own thing. So and then of course, hey, how's it going? Decided to really focus on the idea of being a storytelling company. And that is the way we now approach when we go to book fairs and we go to events. We are a storytelling company. We want to help other storytellers tell their story in whatever medium is best for them. Other things we did this past year, we released the 4th aois21 Annual, came out in mid-October. We had a wonderful cover art from one of our design consultants, Ronna Gaynor. We had poetry, short stories, essays, several book excerpts from upcoming aois21 titles. And we had the release event at Walls Books in DC. And we broadcast that live on our Periscope channel and on YouTube, and that's now available online to watch. We signed 2 new creatives, so we are up to 15 creatives now. Tommy Reynolds, who had been an editor for us for years, and we had always talked about Joy coming on board with his book, finally moved forward with that. So his book is a novel following the story of an American family, also following the history of baseball. So that will be coming out this summer. We're currently in editing on that, and we're actually coming up with a title now as well and cover design. Then we signed Evan Tucker, who was one of our podcasters and had been doing prior to this, we're doing 2 podcast series with us, Tales from the Old New Land and It's Not Even Past. So we came on board officially as a creative, the first creative that wasn't a book author itself, but just focusing on his audio work. And he has since added the History of a Symphony podcast series. And there was work on another podcast. The educational series ended up falling through because of the way it worked with the institution he was teaching at. But we have another project from him that we are now in pre-production on that we're looking forward to. We released a couple new titles this past year. We've got the 3rd book in the Hive series, Hive, A Matter of Gravity by James D. King. Came out in December. We had that a launch party at Walls of Books for a sci-fi night as part of our #GiveABook campaign. And then, of course, our big release was American Presidents at War by Thomas P. Atheridge, a popular history of warfare in the United States from the vantage point of the presidency in comparison to 9/11, the aftermath of 9/11. So that came out in September, and it was our best-selling title for several months. And currently we're doing a review, and we're doing a revised edition. We'll be having it come back out in paperback and ebook soon. We launched 3 new podcast series and joined new networks. We were already at 8 podcast series at the end of when we got together last year. So we now added first History of a Symphony, the third podcast series from Evan Tucker, which is an educational series taught at the Grace Methodist Church in Baltimore, Maryland, a 10-week course that we've been releasing monthly. And after putting the original Sex of X Perplexed podcast by Eileen Vega went on hiatus last May, she has now launched a new podcast series with a co-host, Two Girls, One Joint, discussing sexuality, drugs, and just having a good time. So you find that monthly on the last Wednesday of the month with host Eileen Vega, the Modern Whore, as well as her co-host Drusilla Vincent. Then stepping into the world of politics this midterm election year, aois21's creative Deepan Chaudhary, Dr. Deepan Chaudhary, PhD, and his wife, Shreyasi Deb, launched their own podcast series, Between the Beltways, which shares political news from the central Maryland counties of Howard, Montgomery, and Prince George's. And we have on interview every month where it's usually, mainly it's been candidates so far that have been coming on to talk about their campaigns. And they try to go really in depth into the races that are affecting those three counties. Amazing for the state of Maryland. I think all but one of the congressional districts fall within those three counties, and they have 8 congressional districts. And then, of course, thanks to a partnership between our host service, Podomatic, and most of our podcasts are now available on Spotify. This year, we organized and participated in many events. We took part in the first Charlottesville Book Festival down in Charlottesville, and we'll be looking forward to help sponsor that next year. We also went to the Fall for the Book Festival in Fairfax, and we're there for the first Possibilities Conference in Falls Church, led by Social Media Rescue and Possibilities Publishing Company. We went to Gaithersburg once again last May, and we're looking forward to going there again in a week and a half. And then, of course, we were in Kensington for a Day of the Book 2 weeks ago once again. We were in DC Author Fest once again, which was actually in spring this time, so it was a couple weeks ago, but day before Kensington, at the Library of Congress James Madison Memorial Building. Then we really stepped up our partnership with Walls of Books in DC. We did the hashtag Give a Book campaign in December, where we were there for 4 straight weeks with events. That was a literary game night, poetry open mic, sci-fi night, and a panel discussion on World War I. The game night and poetry open mics went so well that we have been going back to Walls of Books monthly on the 1st and 3rd Fridays of the month, keeping those going. The next one coming up, the poetry open mic, is next Friday, the 18th, which will be emceed by aois21's creative Michael B. Judkins. He's driving down from Allentown to be there for a performance and getting others to come up on stage. We welcomed several new staff. We did audio consultant Gareth Phillips, and he's helping to produce History of a Symphony, Between the Beltways. Yes, it's my company's birthday, so we're kind of reviewing where we are the past year and making announcements for the year to come. So we got some new items, new partnerships. We had new vendor, National Pen Company, provided us with some great giveaway items that were very popular this year, new pens. We actually had a party on Friday night at a bookstore where we had food and music and good times. So this is just kind of the business part of the birthday year review. Let's see. Took part in the Fairfax County Book Club Conference, met a lot of prospective readers there. And then, of course, helped with the launch of the Possibilities Conference this month. All right, so that's the year in review. Now let's get to our announcements. So, one depends on what. Let's see. All right. Sure, I got them all listed here. All right, first up, this year we'll be having the 5th aois21 annual coming out this October. Once again, we'll be calling for submissions for poetry, short stories, book excerpts, essays, photography, art, audio and video content for the ebook edition. Currently, we are planning it to be another electronic release. We are considering doing a crowdfunding campaign in order to make a print, because we've decided that this will be the last edition of the aois21 annual. Unfortunately, the sales have not been where we projected them to be, and the cost of production is just too high for how low sales have been. And plus, submissions kind of fell off this past year, and for having sales be as low as they are, the contributors really deserve better. So we want to make it, we want to offer them the best opportunity for their work to get out there. But if the sales aren't happening, then you're basically, your work is going in our magazine, and then you can only go, you can't submit it to other magazines once it's in ours. So. But rising print costs, low sales necessitated a move to an all-digital release for the past 2 years, but also led to an even starker decrease in sales and a 40% decrease in submissions from the previous year. Now, we've had some great success with the aois21 annual, some great launch events, some great readings, some good contributors. aois21 creative Michael B. Judkins first came to us as a submitter to the annual. Cartoonist Brendan Loper drew an original comic for the 2015 annual and now appears regularly in The New Yorker. Dr. Deepan Charity shared some new work beyond his poetry and short fiction and now writes regularly for the Huffington Post. And last year, something we tried out for the annual is to a launch of one of our new popular video series, 21 Seconds. So it's sad that we have to let the literary magazine go, but it's been fun doing it the past 4 years, and we're still going to put our all into making this the best one it can be. But we're going to be putting up a poll on the aois21 media page whether or not you think we should be doing a crowdfunding campaign to do a print run. So please go on to facebook.com/aois21 and vote. And then if by the end of the month we get enough votes to do it, we'll launch a Indiegogo campaign in June. All right. All right. So the year's annual will be released in October, and then of course the launch event will be at Walls and Books in DC. All right. So we've had a lot of positive growth with our audio network, with the podcast network. We're up to 11 podcasts currently. 3 of them still literary focused. Literary This Week, Publish Me, and Passion on the Page Poetry Podcast. But then, of course, we had the I Stand interview series this past year. We had History of a Symphony. We had the history series, It's Not Even Past, that's been updating regularly lately and getting excellent numbers. We've had Eileen Vega complete her first podcast, Sex Perplexed, and starting a new one. Sex Perplexed had a short run where it was simulcast on WDLS Internet Radio based out of the Lehigh Valley of Pennsylvania. So based on that first one, we decided we wanted to try again at doing it, working with an internet radio station. So we shopped around and talked to a few different organizations, and we decided to work with Blog Talk Radio to launch a new daily radio show called aois21 Presents. Every day, 30 minutes, what we'll do is we'll be syndicating all of our podcast series into this daily internet radio show. It will launch in late May. aois21 Presents will be a half-hour audio show showcasing new and old podcast episodes. We'll be announcing a full schedule soon, anchored by Literary This Week each Monday, and then Tuesday night Poetry Night will be bundled episodes of the Passion on the Page Poetry Podcast. We'll also have a night of Tucker, and on Saturday nights we'll be having the Sexuality Night with Sex Perplexed and Two Girls, One Joint. We're still working out the rest of the details. Some of our monthly podcasts like Publish Me and Between the Beltways and the World's Only podcast will be appearing online. In the case of on the radio, Between the Beltways and the World's Only, we won't be playing any past episodes of them, only the most current ones. Same thing with Literally This Week, only the most current ones. While other episodes aren't time sensitive, so we'll be rebroadcasting some of those older ones. So some new content, some old. So as the schedule works out, you'll be able to find audio from creatives Evan Tucker and Eileen Vega on a weekly schedule, regular contributions from other creatives and shows. Oh, welcome. welcome to Periscope. It does not currently include any live shows, but there's a possibility that we may do a 30-minute live show on certain days, and you'll be able to do call-ins. You can do things like when we have this birthday webcast. We could do it as a 30-minute call-in show. And of course, all aois21 podcasts will still be available on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn, Spotify, and our home on the web, audio.aois21.com. So be on the lookout. aois21 presents on Blog Talk Radio starting at the end of the month. All right, and then one final announcement for today. And now this might not seem like that big of an announcement, but we are announcing today that we are partnering with the Washington Area Lawyers for the Arts. And Washington Area Lawyers for the Arts will provide our company with legal guidance and support, as well as law experts for aois21 podcasts and events. The Washington Area Lawyers for the Arts began in 1983 as a unique collaboration of lawyers and artists to fulfill a mission to serve artists in the need of legal knowledge and assistance. Since then, the WALA has supported artistic expression and creative innovation, serving the legal needs of the arts and cultural communities in Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. So as our company has grown and expanded into new markets, we have had reason to need legal advice from time to time. Additionally, there are many topics we have had interest in covering on our various podcast series that would benefit from the legal subject matter experts who are part of the WALA Alliance. So be sure to publish me. We'll have an episode on copyright. We'll have an episode on open access and international rights. All things that can be covered now thanks to this partnership. As aois21 maps out the coming months, having the legal guidance of WALA will help make sure the staff and creatives get the support we need. We already started preliminary plans to see about things that could help us work better in the governing structure and guidance, and of course reviewing contracts, making sure that everything is properly dealt with. So this, we're very fortunate at DC Author Fest this year. We were sitting right next to the WALA table. I met Executive Director John C. Gooden, had a wonderful conversation with him, and I was eager to work with him because this is something I've needed for some time, is finding a good legal support team to work with. And there are 1,500 lawyers with the Washington Area Lawyers for the Arts. And so there's definitely several people there that can support us for what we need going forward. And in the same token, we can promote their excellent work, not only in announcements like this, but also being able to put them on our website and promote them on our podcast series. So it's a win-win for all of us. So that's about it for our 4th birthday webcast. We're going to be at Gaithersburg coming up in 2 weeks for the Gaithersburg Book Festival, as well as a weekend of events for aois21 creative Michael B. Judkins starting Friday night, the 18th at Walls of Books. He'll be emceeing Poetry Open Mic. Next day, May 19th, all day, it'll be the Gaithersburg Book Festival. Not only will Michael B. Judkins there, but we'll also be joined by James D. King, author of the Hive series, and Philip J. Sipkov, author of Early Thoughts of a Young Man poetry book, Escape from Destiny. No, I don't. Thank you very much for asking, though. And then we'll be having, and also Magnus and the Maiden, the fantasy book. And we might have other creatives there as well. Those are the 3 that I can confirm at this point. And then on Sunday, Michael B. Judkins will be making one final appearance in the area at Duende District Bookshop. We're currently a pop-up bookstore at the Torpedo Factory in Old Town Alexandria. He'll be doing a poetry reading there. So that's for the rest of May. In June, we'll be going to Comic-Con. Virginia Comic-Con will be at the George Mason University campus on June 9th and 10th. We'll be there for both days. I'm not sure for certain who will be there with me. We usually can only have one guest along with us, so it will either be James D. King or it will be Ronna Gaynor, our design consultant. And but yeah, we'll be there and we'll be checking out the great cosplay as always and interviewing cosplayers for our aois21 Live Cosplay Stories series. So be sure to check us out for that. And then we'll be continuing our events at Walls of Books through the end of the year. That's Friday night. The first Friday of the month is Literary Game Night, and the third Friday is Poetry Open Mic. And then be on the lookout for The Will of the Magi by Paul Dickinson Russell coming out this summer, and Tommy Reynolds' Family History and Baseball book coming out as well. And then who knows, we might even have something else coming out this fall. In addition, and of course, the 5th and final aois21 annual coming out in October. So we've got a lot on our plates, a lot we're trying to do. If you want to keep up with us, go to our website, www.aois21.com. That's aois21.com. Sign up for our weekly email. Not only do we share upcoming events and things that we're working on, but we also will be sending out occasional specials and discounts and things to save on getting our great titles from the aois21 market. So thank you for watching. This video will now be posted on the aois21 YouTube channel and our home of the web video.aois21.com. 4 years. It's incredible, all the effort that's gone into this. I want to thank all of those who have helped make this happen. All those that supported our original Kickstarter campaign when we launched 4 years ago. It wrapped up just before May, and then we had our official launch party on Memorial Day weekend back in 2014. Our great creatives that have come together to help form our catalog, starting with Ian Roberts, Philip J. Sipkov, Shayla Morris, and Sheila Bowler. Then going on from there, Bianca Palmisano, Joshua Morgan, Eileen Vega, Deepan Chatterjee, Tommy Reynolds, Thomas P. Athridge, James D. King, Michael B. Judkins, Evan Tucker. Shoot, I know. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody at this point. Oh, and of course, Paul Dickinson Russell, and author of The Will of the Magi. Oh, sorry, Paul. But then also my great staff, Joshua Silverman, our Chief Technology Officer, Corey Parker, our Chief of Publishing, Adam Wallach, our Chief of Creative Relations, Zach C. Cohen, our Chief of Audio Production, John Mulcahy, our Chief of Visual Design, Cami Rodan, our Chief of Development, my beautiful, wonderful wife, Megan Angevine, our Chief of Administration, our design consultants, Rhonda Gaynor, Rebecca Head, Alan Forrest, our audio staff, Gareth Phillips, audio engineer, and vocal talent, Eileen Vega, Michael B. Judkins, Evan Tucker. And of course, the voice of aois21, Mafan Ashman. Our editing team, Stokely Bash, Stephanie Bouillon, Hector Garg, Anna Kellner, Amy Moscato, Aaron Mathis, Ian Quillen, and Tommy Reynolds. I think, yeah, that covers all of our staff, and then all of those that have supported us over the years, not just giving to the Kickstarter campaign, but coming to see us at events, contributing to the aois21 annuals. We couldn't have done any of this without the support that we've been able to find, and we've been very, very fortunate, and I'm very thankful for all of you. We're going to be shifting gears a bit and come the end of this year. We definitely are looking forward to the continued book events, Gaithersburg, Comic-Con. In the fall, we got Fall for the Book, the Western Maryland Independent Literature Festival, the Charlottesville Book Festival. And then after that, who knows? We'll have to see. So visit aois21.com, keep up with what we're doing, sign up for our weekly email, and we'll keep you updated on what's going on, all right? Well, thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being you. And go tell your story.